All right, you're on the BS sessions. There's only one place to be here now, not tomorrow, today. What's up, guys? Throw it to
Hey,
you,
Mark.
Charles.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Glad to be back this week. We got, as always, Jerry Soupy with us on the show, as always. And of course, he's the and I'm the with. This is why I don't introduce the shows. By the way, I'm the third wheel on the star of freeform. I'm just a peon on the BS sessions. With us is Andy Rodriguez, Blackspinner Circle.
Hey, everybody.
And Joseph Staub, one of my favorite guests of all time, back this week. So back to you, star of the BS sessions, Mark Alden Taylor.
So, Jerry, you picked this album battle, man, and it's getting a lot of play in a group I shared it in.
Well, I mean, there's been a little chatter lately about who was the better Sabbath singer lately, Dio or Ozzy. So we'll see how their first solo. Well, I guess Dio is technically a band, but I still call it a solo
So
album.
was Ozzy.
I guess so, yeah. But I consider them both solo albums. But anyway, let's go. Can't wait to see who had the better first solo album, man. So this should maybe clear some of the Black Sabbath stuff up as well.
Yeah, because Ozzy was supposed to be called Blizzard of Oz, a band. But
True.
Yeah.
So and Dio was a band, but then he just took over and just fired everybody.
Yeah.
But let's get into the BS, man. Let's get into some sad news. Robbie Robertson passed of the band. Let's start with you, Jerry.
I mean, I was never a huge fan of the band. I mean, I know The Weight and that was another song, Disney
Dixie?
or Dixie something or another. I know
The Night They
songs.
Drove Old Dixie Down.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I know those two songs, but I was never really huge on them. I know that dude did a lot of soundtracks and like the scores for films and stuff. So that was pretty cool. A lot of with Martin Scorsese films. I guess they were friends or something. So
Yep.
I mean, it's a loss. It's a loss to the fans. My condolences to the family and stuff. He was obviously a talented dude. So that's all I really have to say. I was never, like I said, I was never really a huge fan of the band. So
You should check out the Martin Scorsese film called The Last Waltz with the band. That's why they're friends. He directed that concert movie, them quitting and just going out with all their friends and guests, and it's pretty cool, man. But then we get to you, Andy. You probably know more about this guy.
Oh man, I love the band. I've got everything by them up here. Everything up until Robbie Robertson, of course, left after the last waltz. They reconvened later on without him, but he was the guitarist, and not just the guitarist. He was really the songwriter. He wrote all the songs. He conducted all the music that went along with it. So that's why he moved on to scores later on in the 80s and into the 90s. He was the heartbeat of the band. Others sang the songs that he wrote. He was a very big force when they were Bob Dylan's backing band. Also with there were the Hawks with Dale Hawkins and the Hawks, and it's a huge loss. He was 80 years old. Um, it's sad that we lost him, but I think there's only one remaining band member left, which is
they still tour and stuff, or they did anyway.
No,
They were still active.
Okay.
No,
They haven't.
no, they've been defunct for like at least the mid '80s. They all went their own separate way. The drummer Levon Helm did tour for years until he passed away a few years ago.
I heard
But that's what kept the name alive for a while.
didn't Levon jam with the Black Crows.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Levon had his own little concert hall. It was like in the barn on just outside of Woodstock, New York, and a lot of bands and a lot of bands that the band um, that were influenced by the band would go by and play there with them, and that's what he was known for the last few years of his life. But Robbie Robertson was the star of it all.
Yeah. I read something that Bob Dylan looked at him and go, "You wrote The Weight?" He goes, "Yeah, that's a great song." So it's like,
and if people want to learn more, there's a pretty good documentary on Hulu right now called "We Were Once Brothers." That is narrated by Robbie Robertson, who goes through the whole career of the band.
Nice. Charles, you got anything to say about Robbie?
Sad news, not a fan, clever name.
All right, Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know much about the band. The only thing I really know is that Nazareth named their band after the first lyric in The Wait, and that 3 of the other members, other than Robbie, played with Roger Waters when he did The Wall in Berlin in 1990. They played for most of that show. I think Levon, Garth, and Rick played for a lot of the Wall in Berlin show, but I really don't know much more about the band than that.
Yeah, and Garth was pretty much the multi-instrumentalist in the band. You know, the clarinet, the keyboards, strings, whatever needed to be done, he filled the holes.
Yeah, Robbie Robinson, I got to know him because he did I think a solo album in the 80s, and he had a song with U2 on it called Sweet Fire of Love. And I go, oh fuck, Bono's singing with this dude. Who is this fucking dude? So I went and looked up the band and saw the movie The Last Waltz. And I go, this band's great, man. And then Tom Petty did what the band did. Him and the Heartbreakers backed up Bob Dylan. So I thought that was kind of cool that I know Tom Petty was a huge fan of the band. So I got to give them respect. I haven't seen what Bono said about his passing, because I know Bono loved the guy, man. So that's pretty cool. Bono.
No comment from old Boner.
I haven't seen it yet.
He's too busy saving the rainforest, man.
Oh, shut
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to something that was interesting yesterday. Dokken, they released a new song called The Fugitive, and I heard it. And I've heard Don lately, the way he's singing, and I've heard that, and then I heard that, and I go, is this AI Don, or is this Don highly processed? What do you think about it, Jerry?
I have not heard it yet, but I heard good things about it, so I am looking forward to hearing it. I'm a huge Dokken fan. I mean, always have been, so I'm hoping it's going to be good. So
I'll probably buy it. And I'm not a completist, but his voice sounded passable. But I don't think he could pull any of those songs off live.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably used a lot of studio effects in it. But if it sounds good, I'll listen to it.
What do you think about it, Andy?
I did hear the track. I heard it a couple of times, and it does sound overly produced. But what doesn't these days anyway? I mean, that's just the way that things are right now. They're just super clean, and he probably did get some vocalized help. I wouldn't go as far as saying AI. I wouldn't say that.
Well, I don't hear any auto-tune. That's why I was.
But there are, there's a little bit of help if it had to be double tracked or triple tracked to make it a little bit more cleaner and a little bit more upfront, which, everybody does that these days. But the song was okay.
Yeah, Edwin said if it was AI, why didn't he sound better? Go, whatever.
Right.
What did you think about it, Charles?
Haven't heard it, don't care to.
Joseph?
Didn't listen. If it's not the original lineup, I don't give 2 shits.
Well, Levine is great though, man. Great guitarist, man. But and then we get to some news I saw today. Bruce Dickinson teases Iron Maiden have something in the pipeline. Jerry.
Oh,
Cool. Hey man, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear what it is. So.
And he said that the fans will be excited about this. So I'm wondering if they're gonna go to shorter songs, or they're just gonna make like a fucking short album, or what are they gonna do? Because if he knows his fans, most of the fans complain the songs are too long, blah 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 blah.
See,
Why don't they do a 5-minute song?
Anymore. I don't think he does know what the fans want anymore.
You don't.
Well, the fans would like to see Paul Di'Anno come on anymore, but I heard Paul lately, man. You don't have it anymore, man. Sorry.
Well, what do you think about it, Andy?
Well, I don't know what's coming down the pipeline, and that it's not like Iron Maiden's disappeared. I mean, they've been around this whole time, so I don't know what the big surprise would be. I mean,
please not another live album. Please not another live album.
Right.
Buy them all.
Live album. They've been doing live albums every other release, so I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that.
I don't have the Rock in Rio one yet. I don't have that one. I feel
or unless
that's actually a pretty good
unless
album.
they're going to call it, or unless they're going to call it quits, this might be the end for them. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah.
Well,
That would be great news. The fans would be excited.
Oh man, what I like about the live album thing is the Rush did that. They would release a live album like almost after every tour, and that was fine.
Yeah, but their new studio albums were good.
I like Senjutsu, man. So does Jerry.
I do too. Yep.
So
I like the book. I like Book of Souls more.
Book of Souls too. I like them both.
I love Book of Souls too, man.
Yeah, Book of Souls was good. But I don't care that songs are too long. There's nothing wrong with more music, in my opinion.
And maybe the news is Janet Garris is actually going to play on the next album. Maybe that's what the news is.
I think he plays on the albums. I don't think he plays live on songs he doesn't play on.
But Charles, for Andy's news that they're done. That would be the greatest news of all time. I will send everybody kisses and hugs if that happens, because
it's very possible.
I'm over it. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be the greatest news ever.
About Nico, yeah.
Especially Dickinson. God, what a piece of crap singer that guy is.
Oh my God.
Since when has all this Bruce hate started? Because last couple of weeks,
it started with that one podcast, and one guy just loves Bruce, and everybody copies him. But yeah, loves Paul. I mean, I've seen it translate from that show to everybody else in our thing. So
yeah, you can't agree. You're not allowed to agree.
I noticed. I noticed like, trends.
I love Blaze Bailey. I love everything. I love Sandy Hagar. I love Blues Graham.
Oh, I don't like Blaze Bailey. Who the fuck are you talking about? I don't like Ripper either. God dang. Oh, hell no, dude. I don't.
Damn Yankees is better than Led Zeppelin.
I know. I never said that.
You know, I mean, if you have an opinion that matches somebody's, that's against the law.
No,
Dickinson's not a complete piece of crap, I guess, but I'm just saying, I don't care. Judas Priest crushes Iron Maiden all day, every day, twice.
I've seen them both on the last tour, and Iron Maiden blew Priest away. I'm sorry.
Well, good for you, but you have your own opinions.
That's fine.
Judas Priest crushes Maiden.
Here's what you say when you don't agree. I respectfully disagree with you, Charles. That's how you do it.
I don't say that. You know how fucking Hanny Annie that sounds? I just say
albums.
I don't know, because Redeemer of Souls was pretty badass.
Ooh, I love
Redeemer of Souls was better than the last two releases by Maiden.
Oh, Fire Pyro is way better than Redeemer of Souls, but I love Redeemer. I like fucking that one album that everybody hates. Fucking what's that fucking double album? Nostradamus, yeah.
Oh, that album was terrible.
I love that album, man.
But that was their dance of death.
Actually, so, Charles, you just want them to go away, right, Charles?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's.
Well, the Deano stuff, to answer Andy's question, though, to me, the Deano stuff has more of a punk edge to it. I enjoy punk music. I don't like grandiose opera, man. Play a million notes to fucking, make everybody happy. There's a couple Dickinson stuffs that I don't mind.
Yeah.
But I just like the edge to those first two albums.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine, man. I just think that people follow one guy too much, and I think they should come up with their own opinions. But I know you do, Charles. I know Joseph does, or you guys wouldn't be here. Joseph, what do you think about the Iron Maiden saying
let's get back to that podcast for a second. I happen to agree with a lot he says on that podcast.
I do too, but stop. You're taking away. This is
me and his tastes are very, very, very.
Oh, no. Exactly. I'm more with Ian. Ian's the Cure alternative guy.
I'm not.
Yeah, see, I'm more with Ian on this stuff.
That's why you're not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. You can only agree with.
No, it's a joke, people. It's a joke.
No, it's not a joke, or you wouldn't keep bringing it up.
Because it's a good joke. But what do you think about it, Joseph?
I mean, I really don't know what they could possibly be doing right now that would really excite the fans anymore. Like, I mean, they have the people that they're going to have. The people that don't like the current lineup are not going to be swayed by anything that they do. And I mean, they've kind of broken their pattern a little bit now, whereas like it seems like tour wise, it was always nostalgia tour, new album tour, nostalgia tour, new album tour. Now they're kind of mixing it up a little bit. They're trying to please everybody. They're trying to play half of Senshitsu.
I like the 4 songs they played. The audience was into
bring
it.
Back
dude.
all of the Somewhere in Time songs that no one wanted to hear, and except out for Alexander the Great, people they're bringing that back. Which I mean, whatever. I mean, Nico can't play it, so
he's getting better.
But I don't know what they could possibly. And like, yeah, no, please, no new live album. And my weekly Iron Maiden rant for this week. The one tour that I really wish they would have put a live album out for was seemingly the only one in the 2000s that they didn't put out a live album for, and that was the one in 2005, right after the History of Iron Maiden Part 1 came out, and they played nothing but songs from the first 4 albums. They pulled a bunch of deep cuts out, and that was like the one tour of the 2000s that they didn't put out a live album.
That was a Final Frontier?
No, like 2005.
Oh, okay.
It was before Matter of Life and Death came out. It was between Dance of Death and Matter of Life and Death.
Yeah.
It was right when the documentary, The History of Iron Maiden Part 1 came out on DVD.
Yeah.
They did nothing but songs. They did nothing but songs for the first 4 albums, and they pulled out like a bunch of deep cuts from the Diano stuff. And they played like Remember Tomorrow for the first time in like 30 years.
Ooh, that would rock, man.
And there's like there's pro shots of the full concerts on YouTube, but it was the only tour of the 2000s that they didn't put out a live album for. And it pisses me off to this day because they put one out for the Brave New World tour. They put one out for the Dance of Death tour. They put one out for the Matter of Life and Death tour. They put one out for the Final Frontier tour. They put one out for the Somewhere Back in Time tour. And they didn't put one out for that tour.
That's a one album with Bruce I don't really care for is the Final Frontier. I think it's just
like
blah. It's blah to me. I like half of it, but it's like it's not something I go back and listen to. I'll go listen to Book of Souls and Sujitsu, but not that one at all. But let's get to let's go into another band that everybody wants to quit. Def Leppard leads a hectic headbanging hair metal reunion in the JMA Dome, but Motley Crue steals the show. Jerry?
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I never thought I'd hear Motley Crue steals the show.
I
think that reviewer needs their hearing checked.
Maybe. I saw it.
Okay. So. I'll take his word for it. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
His complaint about Def Leppard is that Joe had too much echo on his voice. But then after the 4th song, it got better. So, and Vince Neil, he doesn't have tapes? Oh, okay. But Andy, what do you think of that?
Oh, I really didn't pay attention to that story. I'm kind of over the Motley Crue news that's been coming out because every day it's something different or new, and I just skip it all together now.
Well, another one that came out today that Nikki Sixx was surprised that Mick Mars can't tour.
So how can he not know that? He's been sick like for 30 years.
Yeah.
For crying out loud. How does he not know?
A corpse on stage since the 90s.
I mean, dude. There's something wrong with his spine and back and legs and like for decades. How can he not know? We knew.
Charles, any thoughts on one of your favorite bands? Not.
I'll say it nicer this week. To hell with Motley Crue. There's nothing we need to talk about with Motley Crue. Was this reviewer like 7?
I was questioning his hearing skills, like Rick and Joseph was talking about there.
I mean, come on.
I mean, Def Leppard.
I hope they go the way of Maiden and announce we are done. That would be awesome.
Well, Charles, they did, but everyone clamored for them to come back.
Yeah, sure.
According to them,
Nikki Sixx has got to pay for his all unlegitimate children. He needs to get back on stage. And Vince Neil needed more food.
We'll put 6 a.m. back together.
Oh, I like 6 a.m. better
They
than
can go on
Motley
the
Crue.
road with they can go on the road with the Creed, and it would just be a great alternative. The triple threat of suck. Creed, Nickelback, and
Hey,
6 a.m.
I think Creed will have
That'd
a
be the
great arena
greatest.
tour when they do their tour, man.
Well, of course you do. Well, of course you will.
Dude, they sold 10 million. They've had a diamond album, buddy.
No, that makes you good. If you
No, it
sell
doesn't.
millions and
It
gazillions
doesn't.
albums. Now, if I say that, I'm the devil. If you say it, it's the word
because
of the
you
law.
use that against me, so I use it against you too.
No,
So.
no, I don't.
You talk about Guns N' Roses. Oh
yeah,
you
they're
can't
still
see
doing
LA
it.
Guns selling
They're
out a
still-
stadium.
They still are with a country act. And a hot country act at that.
Fucking gorgeous country.
Tore up. Ace of Spades, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
No shit. That was pretty awesome. I have to admit it. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
She pulled out a good. She pulled out some Joan Jett songs, I think a couple Pat Benatar songs
Yes,
too.
see?
Like, she knew the kind of audience she was playing for.
Yep.
Mark was on the ha hate train, but
What?
I
What?
didn't say anything about that. I said it was weird. That was it.
But I think that's the only show she's doing with them was the one in Nashville.
I thought that was like
No,
in Canada.
she
I
has a
thought it was
couple
in
more.
I
Canada.
think so.
I thought
That
that
was
was in
Canada.
Canada.
That was Canada where she broke out those songs.
Oh,
They
okay.
haven't done Nashville yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might be seeing them tomorrow night.
Guns N'
Hey,
Roses?
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, enjoy. They owe me a ticket, damn it. But
You wouldn't go see them if they came to your area, Mark?
no. They've been
Really?
there 3 times already. Yeah, I didn't care. I wanted to see
no, you'd rather
AC/DC.
see Motley Crue again.
No, I wanted to see Def Leppard and Poison. So 2 against 1 there. And I never
Shit, I
seen
think I'd rather go see Motley Crue.
I was kind of hoping Vince would have lost some more weight and sounded better. So I was kind of like, it like went 3 years, so he had time to lose weight because it was we got it before COVID. Those
Dude, he's
tickets.
at that
It was
fucking
rescheduled
age
like
now,
4
man.
times.
He's
man.
at that fucking age now, dude. I mean, come on, man. He's like what, almost 70?
Yeah. What do you
Yeah,
think
you
about
don't
that
hate it.
stuff, Joseph?
I mean, it's the same shit every week. I mean, there's no need to talk about it anymore. I mean, it's
It's cool.
Def Leppard and Motley Crue playing the exact same fucking set list they've been playing for 20 years.
Def Leppard changes it up.
Both
Def Leppard
they
does
play
change it
3
up.
songs from their new album. What do you fucking do?
Well, no,
They're
they
playing
add
the same
they add
They're playing the
other
same
older
6
songs in there
Hysteria
too.
songs that they've played for the last 40 years.
They have to
They're
because that's
playing
their
the
fan
same
base,
3
man.
Pyromania songs, and they play Bring It On the Heartbreak. That's it.
No,
That's it.
they did Let It Go when I saw them.
Like one show.
Yeah, they do change it up. They put a different song
That's
in.
it.
You don't
If
see
you-
Motley Crue doing that.
If you
Dude, I
like
heard
their-
Motley Crue tried to do that John Corabi song,
I
and
saw
they
the
teased
set.
it.
I saw
Let
the
it go.
set list, and Foolman's not on the set list, dude. What's up with that, dude? That's one of
Really?
the best songs.
See,
Either
that's
that, or it was,
literally
either that,
you
or
can pretty
they
much,
tried to put it in there, but it wasn't on the set list when I checked it. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I didn't
aside
see
from
it.
like 3 or 4 songs, you could like perfectly predict Def Leppard's set list. It's the 3 singles from Pyromania. It's the 6 songs from Hysteria they've been playing forever, and it's Bring On the Heartbreak. And then
They
put, like,
changed the
1 or 2
songs
more
up from
songs.
Hysteria, though. They changed that up.
No, they
I've seen the
don't.
set list.
Why don't they have When Love and Hate Collides?
They do
God,
play
please.
They do play
No,
that.
They do play that.
Oh man. Oh, see, I wouldn't go for sure then.
Holy
And
shit,
Two
that
Steps
song.
Behind, I think they
That
play
really
as
sets
well.
it off.
I like 2
Steps
steps
Behind.
behind.
I love
I
Two
don't mind
Steps
2
Behind.
steps behind. I don't mind it.
All right,
But
man.
Love
Well,
and Hate Collide and Have You Ever Needed Somebody So Bad are just terrible fucking
let,
songs.
let's
But at least it's not Make Love Like a Man.
Oh God.
Ooh,
I feel
yeah.
attacked every time somebody brings up that song. But let's get to the good news. I don't know. It's good news because a lot of people don't like this band. A lot of people I'm seeing like the new album. It is produced by Dave Cobb. Greta Van Fleet's new album, Starcatcher, debuts on #1 across multiple Billboard charts and #8 on the Billboard 200 chart. That's their second top 10 album. Let me go first. I think this is good for rock, man. I don't care. It's like fucking you got like you tell me, look, she's bringing in physical sales. She's doing this. Taylor Swift, whatever. Yeah, I get it. So are they. They're bringing it. They're just saying, hey, man, this band has a little Led Zeppelin. Let's go check out some fucking Led Zeppelin. Fuck yeah, let's check out some Cream. Let's check out all this other music. The band is fucking good. It's the singer who's annoying as fuck. Except for the EP. I like the EP, but that first full album they did, it was like, doing vocal gymnastics, and I'm not good with that. It's like King Diamond to me. Shut the fuck up. But the first album I like, where they had that Zeppelin EP, the EP, I like the EP. It's the only one I got by them. But I want to check out this new album because Dave Cobb did produce it, and he's one of my favorite newer producers. Jerry, you have any thoughts on that?
I don't like them, don't care. But yeah, Foolin' was included on their set list, by the way. Okay. And One Love and Hate Collide. But yeah. I mean, no, I don't like the band, never did, so who cares?
Well, what do you think about Good for Rock, man? Getting rock and roll out there.
It is, and I'm glad for that. I mean, keep it going for their fans, absolutely. But it doesn't mean I have to like it. I mean, come on.
Just think, what was your gateway into rock and roll?
What do you mean?
What, like,
He's trying to make
got you into a group
that
got you into another group, you know? This is what
they are not.
You don't think Greta Van Fleet's going to get people into Zeppelin or the Who or stuff like that?
No.
I do. What do you think about it?
No,
Andy?
I hear what you say, Mark. I hear what you say, but I just am not a fan of them. So, you know.
So, what do you think about it, Flash?
Oh, well, I've heard. Well, I'm not a big fan of the Flash, but I sure do love the logo.
I love the Flash, man. Yeah. I haven't seen the new movie though.
I'm not into all that stuff, but I just love the logo. Anyway, I was not a fan of the first album. I thought it was way too Led Zeppelin-y, down to the keyboard parts and all that. But their new album that just came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I do like that album a lot. They kind of shed the Led Zeppelin quite a bit on this and kind of use their own merits and their own musicianship without trying to copy or emulate Zeppelin or using that influences too much on their sleeve. So I really did like this album, and I'm looking forward to hearing more. And if they come near here, which I'm pretty sure they are, I will go see them live.
I'm just going to say 40, 50-year-old guys need to stop asking chicks wearing band t-shirts what's your favorite 3 songs of them. Because you're just wearing that shirt because you like the design, not because you like the comic.
No, I hate the comic.
You're like those chicks wearing Van Halen shirts and don't give a shit
about
the band.
Oh my God.
But he knows.
Hey, I'm a comic book nerd, so I kind of go, what the fuck on that one. But that's cool though.
Also, but I do like a Big Bang Theory, so Bazinga.
Well, you know, that guy doesn't even like comic books, so yeah, or whatever. The actor.
Books, but I can't find an Archie and Jughead t-shirt, so I'm stuck with this.
So, Charles, what do you think about the Greta Van Fleet charting?
2 things. Chris Sinzak likes it, so I noticed now you're all on that tip. And then 2, blah, 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 blah. And then 2, if that's
I didn't even notice that.
Well, I don't know. You call everybody else out, so I'm calling you out on it.
No, and then, it had to do with the producer, Dave Cobb. I saw Dave. No, I read the article today. I read this article today.
Okay. If they're the savior of rock and roll, put the final nail in the coffin. Thank you very much.
I know that when the album came out, the day that this new album came out, I put on there a Blackspinner Messenger if anybody liked the band, and Charles was the first one to absolutely not.
I like that one EP. I haven't liked anything they've done after.
I came up in an era where we dogged out bands that was ripping off Zeppelin. It just shows how starving we are now. We'll accept it and say,
but you liked everybody liked Whitesnake. Did you like Whitesnake?
I hear wee little Zeppelin compared to Greta Van Fleet.
And the Still of the Night is totally Led Zeppelin.
Compared to Greta Van Fleet.
Compared to think about something like Kingdom Come, though. Like, how much shit did Kingdom Come get in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Being a Zeppelin ripoff.
Oh, yeah. Get it out. But that was a Zeppelin ripoff, yeah.
But to let you know about Kingdom Come is that was the only song that sounded like Zeppelin on that album. Yeah. I remember listening to it. So, yeah.
But, like, imagine just one song, they got all that shit for being a Led Zeppelin ripoff band.
Robert Plant was all talking shit about him. Robert Plant loves Greta Van Fleet. He says, just admit you're copying us and I'm good with it, you know? Yeah.
But the thing is,
he loves them. That's not saying he loves them.
He also loves weird country folklore music. So, like, But
you can't put Greta Van Fleet in with Whitesnake at all. because Whitesnake had their own entity. You got to admit that when Greta Van Fleet came out with that first album, it was a total Led Zeppelin sound-alike.
The EP
And
that I heard,
was
yeah.
not. Whitesnake was not.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't stand the singer of that band. He just annoys the fuck out of me.
But that's what I'm saying. The first album, the EP,
To
was
compare
great.
to compare that guy with Robert Plant is a fucking
Not
sin.
even. He sounds like King Diamond to me. Like after that,
No, King
and
Diamond-
I didn't even know Chris Sinzak
That's
posted
the
that,
worst
Charles.
thing
I
you've
just
ever said about King
I-
Diamond. Mark.
I heard. I read.
No,
who
but
produced
this is
the
that
album.
for the
That's
record.
why.
But for the
Well,
record,
I mean, I like Chris. It's not about that. It's just you call everybody else out for loving their show, the other show. So
Oh, I
If you
don't care if you
didn't,
guys
okay,
like
my
whatever you like.
apologies.
I don't care
If you
whatever you
didn't,
like.
my apologies.
Well, I
And
read that article today, and that's what it
Chris
said.
is entitled to his opinion, and anybody that likes Greta Van Fleet's entitled to their opinion. But
He likes the darkness, dude.
we'll see.
Oh,
I can't respect that opinion.
Yeah, Chris
I
likes
can't
the
either.
darkness.
Sorry,
Dude.
Chris.
I
Sorry.
gotta draw a line
Darkness sucks balls.
That
would
dude
be
does have a
fun.
pretty,
That would
dude
be
does have a-
another tour.
that dude does have a pretty good podcast, though. I do.
Oh, he
listen to
does.
his podcast.
He does.
His
Yeah,
band
sure,
sucks.
all right, but stay to that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's.
He's
Everybody talked about
terrible.
the
Joseph didn't really.
Joseph. Did you talk about Greta Van Fleet? Thought you did.
Not really. No.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm honestly. I mean, on one hand, I'm surprised that it was that high on the Billboard charts, but on the other hand, I'm not, because I mean, like, everybody makes it that high on the Billboard charts these days. Like,
Yeah.
even nostalgia acts like Judas Priest, Firepower was like a top 2 album or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not surprised. And honestly, if you only made it to number 8 on the Billboard 200, that's not a huge accomplishment anymore. And to
they're only
the
pushing
fact that it basically the only reason they were even in the news at all recently is because the singer came out. Like, that was pretty much it. And the fact that it happened right before the album came out is more than a little bit of coincidence to me.
That wasn't really a big surprise either.
But that's
not at
not
all.
big news
But-
anymore. I mean, it's already 2023. I mean, who cares
Yeah.
anymore?
Exactly, but like that was the only reason Greta Van Fleet was even on like Blabbermouth headlines at all, was because he came out. And like the fact
I
that he
forgot
did it
about
right
that.
before the album came out was a little
Like a
bit
week before.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I like that one album. That's about it.
Well,
The
that
only
made
one I
it
like.
good now, apparently.
No, I haven't heard it yet. I said I need to check it out because Dave
said
Cobb
that.
produced it.
Good. I liked it.
Because Dave Cobb produced it. I love Dave Cobb. He's one of my favorite Rival Sons producer / the last Sammy in a Circle album he produced. I love all of
Oh,
it, man.
well, that's reason enough not to
Well,
check
Jerry,
it out.
you
Yeah.
do like that one song off that album, so shut the fuck up.
I liked it I heard it twice. I haven't listened to it since. I mean, it wasn't horrible. Okay.
All right. Hey,
Not on my playlist.
Good news for us Sammy Hagar fans out there. One podcast said this would never happen because nobody gives a fuck about it. Guess what?
no one's gonna buy it.
I already pre-ordered it, and I have like 5 friends already pre-ordered it.
Are the greatest shits?
Nah, fuck off.
Yeah.
I have David's box back there. So I've been wanting these on vinyl for a long time. Sammy Hagar's Van Halen is coming out with better. They have fucking bonus tracks that
Oh,
Roth never released.
Bonus tracks.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but it's
It's
stuff from
literally
like the
all
greatest
stuff that was
hits.
already released on everything else.
Well, they have one
Wow.
song that wasn't, but they remastered fucking Twister. I'm fucking getting those vinyls, man. That's but one podcast said nobody is gonna buy this. That's bullshit. They bought that right here, right now. That's going for like $300 on fucking eBay right now.
it's going, but it ain't selling.
It will.
Yeah.
It's been. I've been watching because I've been trying to
I've
get
been
it. 'cause
watching them too. All those record date stores, none of them were selling, man. I want that Eric Carr selling album.
The
They're
right
asking
here,
me money for it.
right now is fucking sold out. You can't buy it anywhere, man.
Same with the Eric Carr one.
Well, because
They only made a couple hundred of them.
of Eric Carr. Well, right here, right now was a huge release compared to the Eric Carr, but nobody said they would remaster any of the Sammy Hagar. Victory is mine, bitches. I said they would. Jerry, what do you think about that?
I think I just told you what I think about that. But
Well, I got to make sure so you don't say
no,
you
I
missed
mean,
me, bitch.
if you're a fan of them, I fucking go out and buy it. Waste your money, man. I mean, I tell you what, like I always say, give me half of what you pay for that. I'll kick you in your ass, and we'll both learn something. So maybe you'll learn a lesson. You'll save some money. So,
Andy, what do you think about that?
Well, I do like the Sammy Hagar era, but I'm not gonna buy them because I've already got them. I'm not gonna.
The remastered, that new Human Beings streaming sounds really good.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one of the only Sammy songs on there that I remotely like.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna pay more than $100 off because that's remastered. I'm fine. I got really good stereo here, and I can
throw
on what I want.
CD.
Oh, only because that song.
They have a CD box set too. It's $49.
Nah, I've got the albums and the CDs and the cassettes. I'm not gonna buy them again.
Oh, okay.
That's just the way I am. About the only remastered stuff that I will buy are Beatles and Neil Young and Floyd. I'm kind of like
I always get all the Beatles remasters.
He buys remastered stuff. I'm very particular of what I'll get, and that's not one of them that I'll get.
And Rush is fine. I don't need any of the new remasters of Rush. They were recorded perfectly, anyways. But Charles, what do you think about?
I can't wait to hear this.
Really?
The Sammy Hagar shit.
I mean, it ain't terrible news to me because I wouldn't waste a cent on that garbage. But I mean, you have the numbers on your side. I mean, when you're saying suck it and kiss my ass bitches over Sammy Hagar stuff, I mean, the numbers are there. The shit sold. So, I mean, back in the day, so it's, it's not my shit at all. I know I wish that other people would stop sending me that. Like, I don't care. If
I didn't send it to you.
I didn't say you.
Oh, he says you and other people.
Okay. Because Sammy Hagar is the shepherd of the devil. And I don't appreciate that in my box. I like to have a clear conscience. So you will learn, Hagar twat, in time. You will learn.
I'm not a
Over
twat,
to you, Joseph.
Yeah, no, like same. Like this news impacts me not at all. Like
exactly.
This news, like literally, I'm completely apathetic about it because I'm not going to be spending money on it. Van Halen in general is a band that I don't need to buy remasters of. There's, like Andy said, there's very few bands where remasters genuinely change anything about the sound of an album.
Unless
it's an album that's like notoriously badly produced and needs a remaster.
Like the Kicks albums.
Those did very well. But like it in general, like, and like we can all be honest with ourselves, this Hagar box set is not going to sell anywhere near what the 6-pack box set sold, the CD or the vinyl. It's not going to sell anywhere near.
There was no CD of the Roth box set, was there?
Yeah, there was the 6-pack CD. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people like Mark and Andy that like them, so it might sell a lot.
But I mean,
seriously, I mean that's serious.
People that are getting
I'm saying it seriously, not to mess around.
Like from my generation, I mean, like people getting introduced to Van Halen that didn't have the originals, they're going to buy the Roth box set. They're not buying the Hagar box set.
Oh, okay.
Like if they're gonna get anything, they're gonna get the $25 box set on Amazon of the 6 Roth albums. They're not gonna be spending the money to buy a Hagar box set because there's less hits.
Well, let's hope so.
Anyway. All right, let's get to one thing I passed. One guy who.
Wait. The Roth 6-packs $25 on CD on eBay right now?
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, you buy that Walmart. They got that Walmart 6-pack.
Yeah, it's that little clamshell box.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing added to them. There's nothing new to them. It's just the regular albums.
There's nothing new to the box set either. It's just remastered.
Yeah, but they gave you extra songs.
You don't need to fix perfection, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
But what do you think about a death I forgot to talk about was William Friedkin. If I said his name right. I'm gonna go with you, Joseph, because this was one of your favorite directors. I saw you in the comments.
Yeah. I mean, just did a ton of great movies. I mean, just right off the bat, Exorcist, French Connection, 2 of the greatest films of all time. I mean, just a phenomenal director. Had a very artistic view and had a very. He was a filmmaker. He wasn't just a director. He actually I mean, you just watch The Exorcist. The amount of filmmaking and technique that went into making that movie, nobody else could have made that movie the way that he made the movie.
What do you think about the sequel coming up, the new one, the reboot? No,
It's nothing's ever. It's like you can't remake Jaws. Like,
yeah, it's true.
I mean, I love Exorcist 3. I think Exorcist 3. I mean, I've heard a lot of people. I mean, the person that Mark keeps mentioning without saying their name isn't a fan of Exorcist 3. But I think Exorcist 3, both cuts, the Legion cut and the official cut with Jason Miller in it, I think both of them are phenomenal. Brad Dourif's amazing in it. George C. Scott is great in it.
I love Brad Dourif.
Yeah, Brad Dourif's great in almost everything.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But Exorcist 3 is a great movie. Exorcism movies in general are a hard thing to do right because there's so many traps you can easily fall into, and it's never going to be as good as The Exorcist.
Well, the cool thing is they're hiring what do you call those people that are like bend in weird ways? Contortionists to do the roles. And it's fucking creepy as fuck, man.
Oh, yeah. So they're not using CGI.
No, I think most of the time they're actual contortionists.
Nice.
I think.
I'm gonna watch it, but I won't go see it in the movies. I'll wait till it's streaming.
Same. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing.
If they go a completely different direction, maybe it'll be good. If they try to copy the original, they're not going to succeed.
Well, I heard what's her name is
it's
in
a sequel to the original because what's her name?
Oh,
the mother from the original's in it.
Oh, fuck, what's her name? Shit. Ellen Bernstein.
Ellen Bernstein, she's in it.
Okay. I thought the possessed kid was in.
And the possessed girl is supposed to be a new like series, like a trilogy.
What's her name?
Oh, okay.
Blair. Blair's in like the scene.
Linda Blair. Yeah.
Linda Blair. Oh yeah, she was Tommy Shaw's like girlfriend, and she left Tommy Shaw because he was doing too much coke. She just got clean.
So this is like actually supposed to be like a direct sequel to the original.
Nice.
Okay.
What do you think about William Charles?
Oh man, it's sad news. Some dude from the Kinks died too, but you missed him.
Oh, the keyboardist. I forgot to write him. I actually deleted all my notes today on accident, so I had to redo them, and that was written in my original notes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sad news.
All right. What about you, Andy?
It is sad news, and I looked at the movies he's made. I've never seen The Exorcist. I think I've said that before. I've never seen it, but I've seen French Connection I don't know how many times. Those car scenes are just amazing. It's just amazing. But also, I noticed that he directed one of my favorite movies. I love Blue Chips with Shaquille O'Neal.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Anthony Hardaway,
yeah, with and Nick Nolte.
I love Nick Nolte, man.
Yeah. So I was surprised that someone who has done those films also did Blue Chips. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
When so Nick Nolte had a very weird kind of collection of movies that he made. It was very different sort of movies.
Yeah.
I just looked it up. John Gosling was the guy from the Kings.
But I do want to go back around and watch The Exorcist one day.
My wife won't let me buy that movie. I wanted it on the 4K release. She said, I don't want that movie in this house. It's so freaky. I love that movie. I want to get Damien movies too, man. The Omen and shit.
Good stuff, man. Yeah.
That's a great series.
All right,
so
man,
I'm going to get to that and watch it one day.
Jerry, what do you think about William?
I knew he did The Exorcist, but I didn't know he did The French Connection. So that's kind of cool. That was a great movie as well. So, I mean, is it ever happy when somebody dies? I mean, 99.9% no, it's not. So, it's sad to hear that. Obviously, he's got a great body of work that'll carry on for a while. So, let's celebrate that, and condolences to the family. So,
I mean, that's all we can do is talk about the work that they left here for.
Like we always say, it's gonna be happening all the time now, man. These people we grew up with, bands, actors, all those people, they're gonna die, man. Sad.
Yeah, William Friedkin was a great director, but who's the only great director we have now that we know by name? We knew the Steven Spielbergs, we knew the George Lucas, we knew the Friedkins, we knew freaking Scorsese, we knew all these directors. The only one that's out there now is Christopher Nolan. There's nobody else around him anymore. And that's fucking sad.
It's the same thing with like actors. I mean, what big young actors are out there these days? There
Nothing. We
really
got the
isn't.
ones from the 90s. That's about it now.
DiCaprio.
But he came from the 90s. There's no new ones coming out. There's no new
Yeah, there's
directors
no
coming
one new
out.
to follow anymore.
Yeah.
Tarantino's still directing.
Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth's
He has
Chris
one more
Hemsworth's
movie
kind of
coming out.
cool.
Yeah, but I'm
Chris
talking
Hemsworth.
well, Rob, I'm talking about directors that used to go, oh man, that's a Scorsese film. I'm gonna go see that. Oh wow, that's a Spielberg film. I want to go see that. Is there, we don't name those directors when we want to go see a film. We say, oh, I like that actor. Oh, that actor's cool.
Well,
I'll go check that
all
out.
those directors that you mentioned are still making movies. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm
Scorsese's
saying
still
now,
making
where's
movies.
the new set of directors that we're gonna name like them?
Movies aren't about directors anymore. It's studios. It's blockbusters. It's the only thing I can think of is James Cameron's still a big deal. Like that's
Probably
about
the
it.
dude that did the last Star Wars.
Yeah, but
He's
who's gonna take
with
their
Rian
place?
Johnson?
Who's gonna take
No,
the
the other
place of
one.
all these artists? All we have is Greta Van Fleet
not
right now.
Ryan Johnson. Not Ryan Johnson. The other dude.
Ryan Johnson.
Why do you care, Mark? We're old.
The other
Because I
guy.
want
What the
the
fuck's
I
his
don't
name?
want I don't want this I don't
I
want
didn't
this
see
world to
Joseph's
go like
not, but we are.
Idiocracy. I don't want this world to go
Who's
like the
J.J.
movie.
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like pretty big somewhat.
Yeah, but I'm saying who's going to take their place? There's no new directors
cares?
coming out.
Well, I mean, time and history is going to determine that as
I
well.
hope so, man, because fuck, I'm just like, I don't want this country to, or this world to become like the movie Idiocracy, where they're looking at a movie on the screen. It's just the guy butt farting and they're all laughing at it.
What's wrong with that?
That's pretty much what the movie business is becoming.
That would be
That's
awesome.
what I'm
Movie
saying.
business-
I don't want it to go like that. I want art to still come out, man.
The movie business is pretty much starting to go down the toilet anyway.
Well, you see
mean,
it in
Well,
TV.
I mean,
It started with TV.
coming up with originality is something fucking they need to come up with, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
TV is the one that's getting the originality with Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul.
Then those writers need to get back to work. If not, AI is going to take over for them, and it's going to be really crappy.
Yeah,
I agree. Absolutely.
I'm just going. I'm kind of sad for the future because our next generation is going to be looking at a movie with a big butt going.
Well, you know whose fault it is. Sammy Hagar.
You know what? We need to end the BS with that comment right there. Let's get into what are we doing, Jerry?
We are doing the cool album battle tonight with the two of the three greatest singers in Black Sabbath history, Ozzy and Dio. We're doing their, I'm gonna say debuts, even though they're technically bands. You know, Ozzy Osbourne's Wizard of Oz versus Dio's Holy Diver. Man, this was actually, man, I thought it was going to be easy when I first mentioned it, but man, I listened to them both back to back. It's tough, man. It's tough. But I did come out with my winners and losers, so this shall be interesting.
All right, man.
Even if they're not necessarily solo albums, these are both the first albums that both of these singers released after they left Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Not so long,
Yeah,
but
true.
let's get to this battle, man. Let's start with track 1, Stand Up and Shout versus Ozzy, I Don't Know, Jerry.
All right. I thought when I first put these two together, it's going to be pretty fucking easy. I don't know, fucking Randy Rhoads, man. Come on. But I listened to Stand Up and Shout again. I am picking that one over I Don't Know. And this is a rare occasion where Vivian Campbell outshreds Randy Rhoads in the solo, dude. The solo of this song is fucking incredible. It's a great opener. Man, this is a tough one, dude, but I got to go with Dio. Stand Up and Shout, man.
What about you, Andy?
I am going to go with Ozzy's I Don't Know. I know the lyrics are a little bit repetitive, but Randy takes over the song. He closes the song pretty strongly, especially a opener that's over 5 minutes long. And Randy does stretch it out, and that's the part I like the most. So I'm going with Ozzy on that one.
Charles?
Well, I think Stand Up and Shout's a bit more of a accessible type song on this Dio album for the masses, I would say. And in the context of that album, I do personally, I think Dio is a little bit better of a singer, but he's missing two things right here, two words: Bob Daisley. Bob Daisley is smoking on this fucking track, man. And Randy Rhoads is there too. I'm giving it to Ozzy this round.
Don't say the Bob Daisley word in front of Ozzy or Sharon, man.
But Bob Daisley is a fucking
incredible
bass player,
incredible.
man.
This is a tough
killer,
battle,
dude.
This is
There's
a
a
tough
reason
battle.
Who was the bass player? Jimmy
back to
Bain was a great bass player too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bob Daisley's smoking on this track, dude. It's a great track, man. I gotta give it, like I said, I gotta give it to Ozzy this round. But I love
And you
Stand Up
forget,
and Shout.
you forget what a good guitar player Vivian Campbell was until he joined Def Leppard. But he's a fucking great guitar player before that.
Yeah, he is. He made the difference on this album. He really did.
So, Andy, what's your choice, man?
Who, me?
You already
you already went?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me.
Joseph.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's you, Joseph. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, right out of the gate. I mean, one of the toughest battles right out of the gate.
It was tough.
2 amazing opening tracks, and both tracks that we just talked about a couple weeks ago on Andy's show of opening songs on first albums.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 amazing opening tracks, but like Andy and Charles said, you just can't.
Can't. Wow. Okay. I thought that way too at first.
Stand Up and Shout is an amazing track, amazing opener, perfect way to open the Dio album. But there's Randy's guitar riff coming in at the beginning and Bob Daisley on the bass, and then Ozzy coming in and just Ozzy kind of silencing the doubters after the tumultuous breakup with Black Sabbath.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Heaven and Hell had already come out at this point, and everyone's like, oh, okay, so Sabbath is clearly going to be okay. Sabbath is being taken to all these new heights with Dio. Heaven and Hell's this amazing album. Well, what's Ozzy going to do? And then Ozzy comes out and says, this is what I'm going to do.
He says, I don't know.
Yeah, Ozzy literally says, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, both these songs fucking rule. I picked Dio.
Yeah.
Because this is fucking a battle by fucking like 2 metal gods right here, man. This is fucking, it's like people are going, I can't pick, in these groups and shit. And it's like, I love the guitar that Randy does in here, but fuck, this is like a fucking Dio opened with this fucking song on his shows. Stand up and shout, let it out. It's like, this is a fucking battle cry to fucking shows, man. I fucking love Stand Up and Shout. I don't know it, but I go with Dio on this one, man.
I think it was Vivian solo that made me pick this one over.
It's fucking great solo by Vivian too, man. But then we go to the next track, Holy Diver versus Crazy Train. Jerry?
Damn, dude. Fuck, this is a tough battle, dude. I thought it would easily be Crazy Train until I listened to them both side to side again, and fucking Holy Diver blows it out of the fucking water, in my opinion, dude. Forgot how much I love that song, dude, and this album, dude. I mean, it's a quintessential Dio song, man, and it gets the quintessential Ozzy Osbourne song, so it's a tough fucking battle, dude, but I think it was Holy Diver in that one, dude. So I'm going 2-0 Dio so far.
All right, Andy.
Skip.
Huh?
I'm skipping.
You're
I
skipping.
can't choose. No, I'm kidding. This one was really hard. I went back and forth on this one. Maybe I'm just tired of hearing Crazy Train all the time on the radio. But dude, Holy Diver is such an epic song, man. It's an epic song that's kind of condensed a little bit more, because sometimes when we talk about epic songs, we think of this grandiose song. But man, Holy Diver is just a really good track. I was going back and forth on this one, and I still kind of am, but I'm going to have to go with Holy Diver. It's just fresher on my mind. So Holy Diver is going to take it on this one.
Yeah. So, Holy Diver for you, Andy. Charles.
Yeah.
Man, slap me sideways and call me a bitch on these 2 right here, man. This is a fucking battle.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm giving it to Dio just because it's probably one of my favorite metal songs ever. And I mean, Crazy Train's bad. I mean, it's Crazy Train. But it's overplayed as hell. But Randy Rhoads is incredible on it. But I can sleep better, I guess, knowing that I prefer the version on Tribute over the studio version. Now, if it would have been that version, maybe I might have went with that. But the studio version, I'm going to take Holy Diver all day.
What about you, Joseph?
Alrighty, so we know it's become a tradition at this point for me to have at least one point in every episode that I'm on where I generally piss off the public. And this is my point at this show where I piss off the public. I don't like Holy Diver.
Oh,
I've never liked that song. I think this is where Dio kind of hits a bit of a stumbling block, where he just starts going off on the whole mythical, magical stuff without having the genius of Tony Iommi or Richie Blackmore to back it up.
ooh, bold.
And I think Viv's a great guitar player. Viv is not Tony Iommi. Viv is not Richie Blackmore.
Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
I don't think that this. I think that this would have been a better song if he would have had somebody like Richie or Tony to aid in the writing process. I've never been a big fan of this song. That being said, I'm burnt out on both of them, but I'm gonna go with Crazy Train. I just
millennials.
Ever been a big fan of Holy Diver.
All right, man. I guess it's my turn, right? Holy Diver versus Crazy Train. The songs rule again and are classics, but Holy Diver puts like a lot of fucking imagination in my head. I'm saying Holy Diver. I'm seeing that album cover. I'm seeing what's going on with this Holy Diver. Fucking Crazy Train. Yeah, I see a Crazy Train, whatever. But I like sci-fi. This song is like dragons and fucking queens and shit. It's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Holy Diver. And it's like, Crazy Train is a great rocker, but I give this to fucking Holy Diver. I just love Holy Diver so much. It just makes me think more when I listen to it. I get pictures in my head. So then we get to the track 3, Gypsy versus Goodbye to Romance, Jerry.
This is actually one of the easier ones for me. I never really liked Gypsy. I think that's a throwaway song. And Goodbye to Romance, I mean, who says Ozzy can't write a fucking ballad, man? Beautiful fucking song. Love it. I mean, this is actually one of the only no-brainers for me. I think Goodbye to Romance.
Wow.
Andy.
Oh yeah, I am going to go with Goodbye to Romance. To me, I don't know when we were talking about this, but we were talking about one of the first like rock ballads, and I don't know which one we had ended up talking about, but this was released in 1980, and this is a really good song. And sometimes when you listen to lyrics, maybe it's not about a relationship, and even though he uses the word romance, but also maybe he's saying goodbye to Sabbath, goodbye to my friends, goodbye to all, so sometimes put it Sabbathy, him talking to Black Sabbath.
But he didn't write it. It was Daisley who wrote it.
So that's what I think.
He wrote melodies. That's all Ozzy did.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, I'm just saying that's what I think. That's I know.
Cool.
Well, actually, that's a really good, saying there, Andy. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense.
I'm going with Goodbye to Romance.
Goodbye to Romance.
Yeah.
Damn. So we got 2, and then we got you, Charles.
Well, went from extremely hard to extremely easy, and I'm also very confused right now. Gypsy in a Landslide. I mean, I'll give Ozzy credit for trying some wussy sensitive guy music to round out the sound a bit, but Dio is just on fire on that track, man.
Really,
there's no way a ballad from Ozzy could compete against fucking Gypsy. I mean, he needs to look up Taylor Swift on how to write a wussy sensitive song. Dio in a Landslide this round.
Ooh, okay.
What about you, Joseph?
So after my heresy on the last song, it's going to be a love fest from here on out when it comes to Holy Diver. So I love Goodbye to Romance. I do. I love it. It's a great song. I particularly love, I think I mentioned before, the version on the 2010 remaster where they take out the bass and drums. and
Yeah,
it's just
that's
Ozzy and Randy, and it's just Ozzy. It brings you to tears. It's beautiful just hearing nothing but Ozzy's vocals, and I think it's one of Ozzy's best melodies, and Randy's amazing guitar playing, and I think it's amazing. But Gypsy is one of Dio's most pissed off vocals. He sounds amazing on that song. I mean, just the grit in his voice on that track is just unmatched. I mean, just it's something you really don't hear him doing very often. I mean, a lot of times you'll hear the more kind of like soaring vocals from Dio, but just the kind of the pissed off grit in his voice in Gypsy is amazing. And I'm definitely picking Gypsy.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with you and Charles on this song. I never really cared for Goodbye to Romance. I thought when Charles said a fucking ballad, Ozzy, God, you did that in fucking Sabbath. It was okay. Changes was okay. Changes is a lot better than this song. But no, man, fucking she came straight from hell, and you damn I could tell. And those fucking drums by Vinny, and the fucking guitar by Vivian. This song is a fucking masterpiece of fucking metal. I go with Dio on this one, man.
I don't mean to argue, but a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece of metal.
Fantastic.
The magnum opus.
Masterpiece of metal. It's metal as fuck. Like he said, Dio is pissed off in this song. Like, and you
I don't
hear
hear the pissed off, but I'll take.
She came straight from hell. He goes hell. The way he says hell, it's like.
But you know, it's fucking Dio versus Ozzy, dude. Is there really any wrong answers?
Not really.
No.
But there was on that track. I'm joking. Well, then we get to number 4, Dio Caught in the Middle versus D, Jerry.
All right, I'm gonna reverse what I said about the last two songs and put it here. I don't really care for D. Never liked that song actually. But Caught in the Middle fucking rules, dude. I think it's one of the better songs on the album. This is actually another no-brainer, in my opinion. Caught in the Middle takes it for me, man.
Andy.
Yeah, I've never liked D. I don't care if it was for his mother. If it was for your mother, go play for her in her living room. Don't record it for the whole world to listen to. Or maybe record it and send it to her in the mail. No.
So Dio.
So I'm going to go with Caught in the Middle by Dio. Even though Caught in the Middle is just an okay song. But there was no other way to go.
I think it is the most pedestrian song on the album. But Charles, what do you give this?
These nuts, as they say on that show, huh?
Hey, that show is cool, man.
I think that I do love the song. Actually, I think it's a beautiful acoustic piece.
But I don't play, so.
But against a full song from Dio, I don't care if you don't care. It doesn't stand a chance. Any little instrumental against this. It would only be like, it would beat Hagar. It would beat any Hagar song. I mean, but we're not going against Hagar. We're going against Dio. And the Dio song's actually a little uplifting too. So on my list, Dio's starting to pull away here. He's up 3-1 on my list.
Yeah, I was going to ask Jerry if we could cut D out and put, I'm looking at you, looking at me instead. But I didn't do that. So Joseph, what do you give this song?
Yeah, I mean, there is not really much of a battle here, even though I'm kind of in agreement with Andy that Caught in the Middle is on the lower end of this album. I think it's a great song, Jerry.
What?
It's a great song, but it's not on the higher end of the album for me. But it blows away D. I mean, I'm a big fan of like classical guitar and stuff, but a 50-second classical guitar piece is not going to even remotely touch any Dio song.
To be fair, I've not heard Holy Diver in years, so it's kind of like in a new, fresh type of way to me. Maybe that's why I'm picking more Dio. But Blizzard of Oz, I listen to that album a lot, so maybe that's why I'm leaning towards Dio in some of these songs.
I'll mention something at the end, but I'll kind of spoil it a bit here. Blizzard of Oz is not my favorite Ozzy album. Holy Diver is my favorite Dio album.
Yeah. And then we get to Me. What do I think about this shit? Let's see. So you went for Dio right there, Joseph, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then I get this is
He's picking
this is a cute little instrumental by Randy in honor of his mom, but you know it's a filler track to me. Fucking going by, like Charles said, a full song by Dio. I'm going with Dio. Continental rules. So that was the first clean sweep by an artist right there.
All right.
On that song. Now we get to track number 5, which is Don't Talk to Strangers versus Ozzy Suicide Solution, Jerry.
Holy shit, man. Wow. This was another tough one, dude. Fucking love Suicide Solution, man. I mean, but I love Don't Talk to Strangers. I love how it starts slow and then starts kicking in and rocking. I have Don't Talk to Strangers winning this, but do I mean it? Well, I have to go with what I wrote down, so I'm gonna go with Dio on this one. I don't feel good about it though, but I'm gonna pick it. Yeah,
All
Don't
right.
Talk to Strangers.
Andy.
Yeah, this one was a little bit easier for me. I'm going to go with Dio. Don't talk to strangers on this.
Wow.
It's his vocals on here are amazing, and the songwriting is pretty good on this one too. You know he kind of does away with magical crystals and this and that. So I'm going to go with Don't Talk to Strangers. He actually wrote a song that I can relate to, so it's pretty cool. Over Suicide Solution.
I think Suicide Solution is one of their best, Ozzy's best songs.
You see, I've never been a fan of that song. Kind of a, I mean, I know it word for word and note for note, but I don't know. Lately, it just hasn't been grabbing me that much. So that's why I went with Deal with this one, because also Don't Talk to Strangers is one of the better tracks on this album.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we get to Charles.
Oh, Lordy Mama, man. The eternal struggle of two absolute classics here, man. I didn't know what to do. It's Don't Talk to Strangers is an absolute classic, man. But I got to give it to Ozzy on this round. It wasn't easy, though, at all.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong with this one, dude.
But in the end, I just like the feel of Suicide Solution, the song, a little better. But damn, it's too bad it didn't go against that Caught in the Middle. Because then I wouldn't have been so conflicted on the pick. But man, I love Don't Talk to Strangers. But
yeah, I would have gone with Suicide Solution on that one too.
Suicide Solution is just by a hair, man. But tomorrow I could change my mind. You know. Yeah. But I'm gonna go with Ozzy today.
Nice. So we got.
I'll tell you what would have made me really rip my hair out is if we would have taken D out of the equation and put in You Looking at Me, Looking at You at the end of the album. And then I just realized what Don't Talk to Strangers would be going up against.
Oh, yeah.
It would be going up against the next song on the Ozzy album.
Oh, man.
That would kill me. But
that would be tough, yeah.
That being said, Don't Talk to Strangers is tied for my favorite song on Holy Diver. So of course, I mean, I'm going with Don't Talk to Strangers. I mean, like Jerry said, the way it starts out kind of slow and gets atmospheric, and then Vivian just comes in and murders it.
That's why I said, man, what a great guitar player he is, man. I mean, totally overqualified for Def Leppard, but I know why he's doing it for the paycheck. But man, dude was a phenomenal guitar player. Phenomenal.
Yeah, like I've told people, man, when I found out he was going into Def Leppard, I go, fuck, Def Leppard's gonna fucking rock.
That didn't happen.
And his first album that he did with him was basically slang, and that didn't rock. It's okay. I like most of it, but it's not. Okay. I wanted to hear some shredding.
That's okay. I think Viv is like the opposite of Yannick Gers. Viv doesn't play on the albums, but he plays live.
Yeah, I like him.
He's smart. He took a paycheck, man. That's cool.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with Charles on this one. Don't Talk to Strangers is one of my all-time favorite like in song, but Suicide Solution, I think why Charles likes it is because it's punk. It's like punk rock. It's like Sex Pistols kind of wine is fine, but whiskey's quick. He's got that snarl in his voice, dude.
He does, man.
He's got that
Great
snarl.
track.
It's like he's like bite fucking fuck you assholes. And Don't Talk to Strangers is great. It puts like a visions in my head and shit. But the Suicide Solution is like fuck. Like you said, Andy, he might be talking for himself, even though Bob Daisy wrote it. But I know Ozzy did help. Maybe he did it on his thing. And Ozzy got so much shit for that song.
Dude,
Like, he's advocating suicide and shit. No, he's talking about drinking. It's going to lead him to suicide. It's going to kill him.
About Bon Scott, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But man, I going for Suicide Solution here, man.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong by picking that one, dude.
And then we flip this over, man, and we get to side 2. And we get to Straight Through the Heart versus Mr. Crowley, Jerry.
Straight Through the Heart's a good song. But come on, Mr. Crowley. I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, incredible tune. Love the fucking haunting organ in the beginning of it, man. It's not a complete blowout, but I go with Mr. Crowley.
What about you, Andy?
There was a song against Mr. Crowley? Huh? I wasn't aware. Mr. Crowley, by a long shot. It could have been any song on that Holy Diver going up against Mr. Crowley. It's still going to be Mr. Crowley. That's my favorite song on that album. I love the keyboard part. It reminds me a lot of A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
The keyboards on there. It's just creepy and eerie, and then the tale that Ozzy tells about Mr. Crowley. And as you got older, you found out that there really was a Mr. Crowley, and that
Jimmy Page lived in his castle, man. Jimmy Page lived in his castle.
Yeah, and to know that what he was singing about is kind of an autobiography about this guy. It's pretty cool, man. So, and the way that the whole musicianship on this whole song. So, and they put it all together. So, Mr. Crowley, easy.
Hey, what about you, Charles?
Well, Straight Through the Heart has some great riffage, and
it does.
Of course, the incomparable Ronnie James Dio. But what they don't have is one of the greatest metal songs ever, which Ozzy did here. In fact, Straight Through the Heart comes across as straight filler against this Ozzy song. We stack it against this one. About as easy as D against anything on the Dio album. So give me Ozzy. So on my list now, right, they're tied at this point on my list, 3-3.
Yeah, what about you, Joseph?
So everything I said about the last song, flip that and completely reverse it. Straight Through the Heart, like Suicide Solution, it's a really good song. I mean, it's kind of both of them are kind of seen as kind of classic tracks. I mean, Straight Through the Heart is a fairly popular Dio song. He played it a lot. It was on all the greatest hits albums and everything. But like Don't Talk to Strangers, there's no going up against Mr. Crowley. And that's why if we would have taken D out and Mr. Crowley would have gone up against Don't Talk to Strangers, I probably would have jumped out a window. I couldn't. I couldn't. But thankfully, we don't live in a world where that had to happen. So, Mr. Crowley, by far, I mean, it is one of the greatest metal songs of all time. Probably one of Randy Rhoads' shining moments. I mean, he has many shining moments, but this is definitely up there for possibly his best. And Ozzy sounds so menacing on it, and the keyboards and everything. Both are very good songs, but Mr. Crowley's just in a completely different league.
And again, Daisley's bass. Oh, I was just that was great, man.
On the whole album, Daisley had such just awesome little in the pocket bass lines. It was just great.
Yeah, both these guys had great fucking bands backing them up. Dude.
Really did.
So now we go to me on Mr. Crowley, and I'm gonna pick Mr. Crowley like everybody else did. So Ozzy had a clean sweep on this. This song is so fucking evil sounding, and Mr. Crowley, and that it's like that fucking it's like, man, he sounds like Ozzy's kind of in pain singing this fucking song. I fucking love it. So much emotion, even though Dio's technically the best singer when Ozzy is in a song. It's fucking awesome when you fucking hear Ozzy's personality. This song rules. So it's going Mr. Crowley. So that's 5-0 for that song.
Yep.
And now we get to Dio Invisible versus Ozzy No Bone Movies, Jerry.
All right, now we get to two songs that are, if I ever heard them again, I would be all right with not listening to them ever again. Don't really care for either one of them a whole lot, but I think I like No Bone Movies a little bit better, so I'm gonna have to go with that one. Invisible, it just sounds like there's no such thing as Dio filler, but if there was such a thing, this would be it, in my opinion. But I take No Bone Movies by a hair of a song that's not even close to being the top of either album. So, got to go with it.
Ooh, Andy.
Well, I think y'all know how I feel about No Bone Movies. I think it's the stupidest song I've ever heard in my life.
It's not the greatest song.
But I'm not a big fan of that at all. And Invincible is just okay. I mean, once again, it was a filler song. But I am going to go with Invisible over No Bone Movies.
What about you, Charles?
No Bone Movies is like a pretty straightforward rocker, but with Randy Rhoads playing on it. So that's kind of neat, I guess. But then I'll have Ronnie. And the Ozzy track now comes up as filler to me against this. You know, it's kind of like the previous one where it was like a filler against an all-time classic, kind of. But I don't think these two songs are as strong as Mr. Crowley, obviously. But I'm going to go with Dio with Invisible this round.
All right. Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I mean, musically, I think No Bone Movies is fine. I just really don't like the lyrics, and I hate how Ozzy sings it. And I think Invisible is a really good song. It's not like a standout track on Holy Diver, but it'll get the job done. And like Jerry said, is there such a thing as Dio filler? Like, I mean, it wins easily for me. And like Charles said, going up after Mr. Crowley, it was tied 3-3 for me. But I think we're going to start seeing a certain artist pulling away here at the end.
Yeah.
Those two songs are actually evenly matched as far as where they, rate on the album, in my opinion. So
yeah,
they're both not the best on their album. Sorry,
right?
Mark.
And it's weird that they were both against each other. You know, it's pretty weird how
that's
felt.
fine, man. I like it when you guys talk. But then I get to Invisible versus I've never really cared for No Bone Movies, and I think a lot of people in our circle don't really care for that song either. And I love Invisible, man. I can be invisible. You know, I like the fucking punch that Vivian has on the like Vinny has on the drums. Vivian has guitar. The bass is fucking rolling. I think this is a fucking great song. You guys think it's okay? Who voted for it? I don't agree with you guys on that one, but yeah, man. So Dio won that one 4-1. And then we get to Rainbow in the Dark versus Revelation Mother Earth, Jerry.
This is not as easy as it sounded, man. Revelation has some great acoustic fucking work on it, dude. It really does. But come on, Rainbow in the Dark, man. You're talking about standard fucking classic Dio. Never fucking get tired of that song. Every time I fucking hear it, I crank it. I like Revelation Mother Earth, but man, Rainbow in the Dark blows it away by miles, dude. Sorry.
Hey, Andy.
One of the better songs on the album, Revelation Mother Earth. It's freaking amazing. Let my mother live. Awesome, dude. That's badass. Over Rainbow in the Dark any day. You can ask me to borrow. I'll say Revelation.
The acoustic riffage in that song is awesome on Revelation.
Dude, the whole song put together, and then when you think of Rainbow in the Dark, you know, you think of freaking Dio on a rooftop yielding a sword in the daylight.
The videos weren't the greatest. Come on,
that was badass. Him holding a sword was badass, though.
And wearing pelts and shit.
Yeah,
that's fucking Hot Rocket by Judas Priest, man. Come on.
Revelation Mother Earth for me. I think it's a great song. It's a diamond in the gem on that album.
Charles, your thoughts on?
Oh wow, I was lost in dreaming about Puff the Magic Dragon from Ozzy there, or whatever fucking hippie bullshit he was doing there against one of the greatest fucking metal tracks of all time. For every reason it was just made fun of. I love it for the swords, the
There's
pelts,
that air
the
conditioned unit.
imagery.
Yeah.
Fucking Rainbow in the Dark destroys this goddamn hippie Renaissance fair fucking
Air
song.
conditioning
Ozzy
unit,
did.
classic.
I want it.
Crushes it, destroys it, annihilates it.
Yeah, I agree.
Dio, easy this round. Easy, but I love Rainbow.
Weird
It's
placement.
probably my
I think it's one of
favorite.
the weird placement for this track on the album. I think this should have opened up.
It should have never been on the album. It should have been buried as a B-side or something like that.
No, Rainbow in the Dark. I'm talking.
Oh no, yeah, but Rainbow in the I thought you meant the Renaissance fair, the medieval times thing Ozzy was doing there.
Oh God, Joseph.
So I love Revelation Mother Earth. It's probably my favorite of like the last 3 songs on Blizzard of Oz. Because that's kind of where Blizzard of Oz and Diary kind of part for me, is that Diary gets stronger towards the end. It caps off, whereas Blizzard of Oz kind of goes out on a weak, kind of a bit of a little weak path there at the end. But I love Revelation Mother Earth, but I got 3 words for you. You're a rainbow. Tied for my favorite song on the album. I mean, the first Dio song I ever heard. This Rainbow in the Dark was the one Dio song that the classic rock radio station that I listened to as a kid would play. And this was the first Dio song, period. Black Sabbath, Rainbow, Dio, anything. This is the first Ronnie James Dio vocals I ever heard in my life. And it's been one of my favorites ever since. It's tied for my favorite song on the album, and it wins by far.
No shit. I'm going with Revelation Mother Earth, man. I love that shit. I love that fucking song. It's fucking epic. It's fucking epic. So I think Rush talked to them after
the Rainbow in the Dark. Seriously,
I love Rainbow in the Dark, dude. But I like that fucking Renaissance acoustic guitar shit. I like that shit. But I don't like when Richie Blackmore does it in Blackmore's Night. I like it when Randy does it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'm not going to listen to that shit. I have to go for Revelation Mother Earth, man. So Dio won that one 3-2.
Very elf sounding.
Yeah, I don't like
Lord of the
that
Rings.
much.
Yeah,
No,
the Lord of the Rings. Like I think of that Stonehenge scene from Spinal Tap.
The dwarves dancing around the many little stone.
Now we get to the final battle. Shame on the Night versus Still Away the Night, Jerry.
These are 2 fucking good songs again, dude. I mean, 2 great album vendors. I actually have the W's crossed off a few times on both these songs, but I ended up going with Steal Away the Night. Just a little bit better than Shame on the Night. And I don't feel good about that one either, but I'm going to stick with the last W that I put on it. So I'm picking that one to end it with.
Andy.
Oh, easy for me. Still a little. Steal Away the Night. I like that song a lot. I like the anthem feel of it. So Steal Away the Night by Ozzy.
They both end in the night. Kind of interesting. 9 songs too, exactly.
Yeah. Charles.
Well, I mean, at least they're getting closer again here in quality. Ozzy going out strong, and I still don't get why people make fun of Bob Daisley. I mean, the bass work was phenomenal, but damn, man, Ronnie is just getting it. Dio just kills it in the end, man. Dio for the win again, and on my list, he won 6-3 in the end. But the other album is very good too.
I got him 5.
That Renaissance hippy dippy in the ballad and the
albums were 3. Yeah.
What do you got him, man? What do you got him, Andy? What do you got him, Andy? I got him 5-4 Dio. What do you got?
I got him 5-4 Ozzy.
5-4 Ozzy. Well, I haven't finished mine, and neither is Joseph. Joseph.
Mine is going to match up exactly with Charles's account. Dio for the win again. I mean, I love both songs. Both songs are great closers. I just think Shame on the Night is epic. I think Dio sounds amazing on it. I think that it's a great way to close both albums. It's a great way to close both albums. But I think Shame on the Night's better. I think it's one of Dio's best vocals on the album. And yeah, it just kind of caps off. Like I said, after Mr. Crowley, it was tied 3-3 for me, and then Dio just took the entire rest of that second side, and it ended up 6-3 Dio for me.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, and I'm the opposite on side 2.
then I get freaking Steal Away the Night versus Shame on the Night. Steal Away the Night's a cool song, man. It's a cool anthem. It's a cool rocker. But Shame on the Night is fucking metal as fuck.
It is.
Boom. Shame on the night. It's like and Ozzy's going, steal away the night.
He doesn't like that, Mark.
He
But
doesn't
all
sound
right.
like that, but
He sounds like he's Alba compared to the fucking Shame on the Night.
Abba, he doesn't sound anything like
I'm
Abba.
saying comparing
I don't
Steal
think
Away
you've
is
heard
like
that
a pop metal song, while
I
fucking
don't
Shame
think
on
you've
the
heard
Night is
that
metal.
song.
He should have
Steal
done a
Away the Night is
crossover
not
with-
metal.
He should have done a crossover with Backstreet Boys, huh, Mark?
Ozzy on that one?
Yeah,
It's pop rock. It's not metal.
not
you
that
know?
bad. I'm just
My
teasing.
favorite Ozzy album is Diary, anyways. But
it's mine too.
yeah,
Mine as well.
But I have Ozzy. I have Dio 6-3. I think a lot of us have said 6. You had 5-4, Jerry. Me and Charles had 6-3, and Charles and Joseph had 6-3. So this is like a big win for Dio. Holy Diver gets 27 votes. Why Diary of Madman, not Diary, Blizzard of Oz gets 17. It's like, damn.
So for the record, I think it won. For me.
Oh, that's your opinion. But stats don't lie. But you know what? When I posted this in this 80s metal group, it was like Dio, Ozzy, Dio,
But
Ozzy.
man, these are
I can't choose Dio,
Yeah,
Ozzy,
these are-
you know.
those are two fucking great albums, dude. I mean,
Yeah, they're both
classic.
great.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
really
man.
go wrong with either one.
Yeah, you can't. It's like a civil war. It's like picking your favorite baby, you know. Who's my favorite?
But Dio's
child?
is better.
Dio's is better. 6-3.
It is better. Yeah.
It won 27-17, man. It was like a blowout. It's like a baseball
You know,
game.
the
I thought it'd be a
production
little.
was
I thought it'd be a
the
little closer.
production was a lot better for Holy Diver.
Yeah.
Production was fantastic, but also there were 3 years apart as well.
Yeah.
And we need to also think about that. That's a big jump. That's a big change in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm give my reasons why.
All right,
Well,
man.
I'm still taking Heaven and Hell against Ozzy then.
Ooh.
Oh, we did Heaven and Hell against Blizzard of Oz already.
Who won?
I think Heaven and Hell would win that one.
I don't know.
Oh no! I'll send
Heaven
it
and
to
Hell
you,
won that time.
Joseph, because we did that already.
Oh.
And of course, I picked Blizzard because I don't like Heaven and Hell that much. I think Hell has a lot more.
My heart.
Yes.
I've said this before. It's nothing new. I'm surprised you're
I
acting
know.
like that.
No, I never
Well,
heard that.
he never
Oh,
heard
really?
it before.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. It's very.
I like
not-
Tony Martin, Black Sabbath. So don't, you know.
Yeah.
Headless Cross for the win.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You see, I think
Over
Dio
over Heaven and Hell?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I just like his stuff too.
I'd
like the
probably
Tony
take Headless
Martin.
Cross over Mob Rules.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh well, the
I
thing is
love
that I
Bob
like
Rules.
Dio solo, and I like Dio with Rainbow. I don't like him that much with Sabbath.
I love him with Sabbath.
I love Heaven and Hell. I like about a half of Mob Rules. I'm not as big on Mob Rules as some people are.
Oh, I love Mob Rules.
You see, Heaven and Hell has some great epic songs that were freaking fantastic, but also there's quite a bit of shorter filler
You
on that
didn't
album.
like Live Evil?
No, I didn't.
I love it.
I
don't
love
like
I
that.
love Live Evil when Dio is singing the Dio songs. When Dio is singing the Ozzy songs, I think it's awful.
I didn't mind it. I don't
See,
think
because
he's
I
as good as
prefer Live
Ozzy.
at Last. Even though it was not authorized or official, I still love Live at Last.
Yeah, man. So that was our album battle. Dio won 27-17 over Ozzy. Let's get to our final thoughts, guys. Jerry,
Nothing, man. Thank you guys for agreeing to do this, man. I thought this was going to be a good one, and it ended up being that way. I thought it was going to be a little closer, but it ends up what everybody said makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is one of my better choices. I think so.
That's a good one.
Good one. Charles?
Like, share, subscribe. Check out Freeform Rock Podcast tomorrow. Poison. Look what the cat dragged in. Let's see if we claw our eyes out or what we did on that review. And next week, BS, I'll just announce it. Our top 11 favorite debut albums of all time. So that should be fun. And there you go.
We already got.
I'm gonna do a little spoiler. I did this show on Andy's show one time, the top debuts, and I forgot one, and Mark got pissed at me. Maybe it'll make it in this list this time.
Well, that one ain't missing mine. But Andy,
yes,
what do you got going on?
Yeah, well, first of all, I demand a recount about what we just did.
We're trendy, Andy. We're trendy. We like to more.
But next week on the Blackspinner Circle, we always complain about double albums being too long. They could cut this out, they could cut that out. So we are going to do the first one of the double album cuts. And we're going to start off with a White Album by the Beatles. On the panel, it's going to give us a list of the songs that should have been cut out. And I got Mark Alden Taylor on that show. Charles Trainor's on that. Kate Doré, and maybe Metal Mike. I'm going to touch base with him this weekend. He really wants to be on it. So we'll see if he'll be able to make time for that. But that's going to be our first foray into that kind of segment. And I'm going to see how that goes. And if it goes well, I've got other double albums we can do.
All right.
So that's what's going on in Blackspinner.
Joseph.
Nice. That's a really cool topic. I love thinking about double albums that you could cut stuff off of, or like albums that should have been double albums, stuff like that. But yeah, so like I always say, buy physical media. Stop supporting Def Leppard and Motley Crue. They don't need your money. They really don't.
They don't need it.
You go see local bands at your bar, and they need it more than
local bands. Go see bands that are playing clubs, playing theaters. Don't support Def Leppard and Motley Crue. They have enough of your money. They don't need any more.
They stole enough of our money.
Yes.
Go see Greta Van Fleet. Somebody young.
Yeah, go see the Rival Sons instead.
Go see Extreme. They're playing theaters.
Rival Sons is a million times better than fucking Greta Van fucking Fleet. Or even this band, the Descoda. They have 2 albums out. Check out the Descoda.
Good fucking album, dude. Good album.
Both of the albums, dude. Their first 2 albums are amazing. They're out of England. Everybody likes English bands. But I'm just gonna. Those are my pick. Like, go check these bands. Check out Nita Strauss. Nita Strauss is awesome too.
I forgot to say. Last night I went and saw Disturbed and Breaking Benjamin last night, and I made Ian Wadley cry. So you know what? It was a rough day for everybody.
Dang. How was Disturbed?
Great show though. Great show. I mean, Breaking Benjamin. That was my 4th time seeing them. They're always great, and Disturbed really, really impressed me live.
I love Davey Draymond, man. That guy speaks his mind.
He does. He did some really good stuff. Before they played one of their songs, they put up this suicide prevention video. It was really good. It was a really powerful message.
I need to play more Disturbed on the show. But man, that's our show tonight. Make sure, and like Charles said, come back for next week. We're doing our top 11 debut albums. This is me signing off, and thank you guys for being on here, and see you guys next week. And make sure and have a bong toke, man.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me on, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.